Okay, so on to stage 3, the all-important execution. So the child development mentor allocated to your school will now collaborate with the 3 directors around the definition, the high detailed plan that we've got for your children and your school. They will then come up with a scheme of work for the sprint, for the term, with an outcomes and then weekly targets. So what we'll be looking at here is, in collaboration with you, like I said, from the definition, looking at 3 to 5 social emotional areas, components within a given outcome area. For example, we might be looking at self-management, so we're looking at things like independence, resilience, responsibility. So each session, so for the scheme of work, there'll be 3 to 5 areas on social emotional development. There'll obviously be the national curriculum PE targets and sport development targets that come from our SMEs, or subject matter experts, who know about any particular sport, and they guide that. Then we've got the transferable skills, 3 to 5 transferable skills that the teacher would like us to focus on for their class. Whichever class Coach Hubert is in, that teacher helps us with, very quickly, just informs us of 3 to 5 transferable skills they'd like to develop. And we've also got, obviously, the school values. We're going to embed any classroom topics and themes that we can get out from the classroom and give the child a bit more confidence in. So when it comes to the actual sessions themselves, we work on gamification. It's game-based. So what that basically means is the children are set a challenge for the session. For example, it might be get from here to here without getting tagged. And they're working towards superpowers. So independence might be a superpower. Spatial awareness might be a superpower. And they're being encouraged to level up. Now, they're tracking their own progression throughout this. So, for example, throughout the session, they will be saying, 1, I've not used it a little bit, used it most of the time, used it some of the time, or used it all of the time. So they're getting ownership and responsibility for their own development. So the session follows 3 stages. The exploration stage, let's have a play, let's have a try at that challenge. After that, there's a collaboration, and we share our ideas, and then the children then go out for stage 2, which is the development stage. Let's go out and try that. Let's put a label on what that is. It's called dirty feet, for example, which is when you move your feet really quickly to get past a defender. And then we're labelling that, we're praising and correcting that, we're tracking that for ourselves. How much are we using it? What could I use better? Then we collaborate again, introduce another key coaching point, and so on. And the 3rd stage of the session is the consolidation. And this is where we put a little bit of pressure, often through competitiveness. You know, we call some things called knockout. If you're tagged, you're out, and that sort of thing. Puts a little bit of pressure, and it really consolidates those skills and understanding that they've been developing, those superpowers they've been developing throughout the session. The impact on all of that on Coach Hubert and his friends is maximising the development, maximising the progression, and importantly for the project is recording those progressions and feeding it back to the senior project manager and her team, and identifying, is there any need for intervention at this stage? Is there a child that's for a couple of weeks has just been below their normal development? Is the class as a whole not developing at the same rate as others? Are there children that maybe aren't accessing, participating after school as much as we'd like? So that allows for immediate interventions as we go on. That's the execution. Next slide is actually the evaluation, assessing how well we've done it.